Imagine walking into a vault at London's Heathrow Airport and finding it filled with gold, 6,800 gold bars to be exact, worth around $38.7 million. This might sound like the setup for a movie heist, but it's actually what happened in 1983, setting the stage for one of the most infamous robberies in history, the 1993 Brink's-Mat robbery. The original Brink's-Mat robbery occurred in 1983, but here's the catch. Our story begins a decade later, in 1993, with a man named John Palmer, who had a connection to the original heist. Palmer was a timeshare salesman with a shady past, and he had a plan to make some easy money. But how does one go from selling timeshares to being involved in a massive gold heist? Palmer's plan involved melting down the gold and turning it into 24-karat gold coins or small bars, which could then be sold on the black market. It was a clever idea, but here's the problem. The gold was heavily tainted with the original heist's notoriety, making it almost impossible to sell without arousing suspicion. That's where the second player in our story comes in, a man named Michael Hurley. Hurley was an experienced money launderer with connections to the criminal underworld. He saw an opportunity in Palmer's gold and agreed to help him clean and sell it, but at a hefty price. The partnership would prove to be a crucial factor in the events that unfolded. The process of melting down and recasting the gold was painstaking and required specialized equipment. It was like trying to bake a cake, but instead of flour and sugar, you're working with molten gold and the risk of it being discovered at any moment. The tension was high as they worked to transform the tainted gold into something more marketable. As they delved deeper into their operation, they encountered numerous challenges, from the logistics of melting and reshaping the gold to avoiding detection by authorities. It was a cat-and-mouse game, where one wrong move could mean getting caught. The stakes were high, with potential prison sentences hanging over their heads like the sword of Damocles. But here's the wild part. Despite the risks, the operation seemed to be going smoothly, with gold being melted, recast, and sold off piece by piece. However, the success was short-lived, as the law was closing in. It's like they say, pride comes before a fall, and their pride in getting away with it was about to be their downfall. In 1993, the police finally caught up with Palmer and Hurley, seizing a substantial amount of the gold and arresting both men. It was the end of the line for their lucrative but illegal venture. As they sat in their cells, they must have wondered how it all went so wrong. But the real question is, what happened to the rest of the gold? The aftermath of the robbery and the subsequent attempts to launder the gold led to a complex web of trials and convictions. It was a messy affair, with Palmer and Hurley at the center, each trying to save their own skin. In the end, justice was served, but the legacy of the Brink's-Mat robbery continues to fascinate people to this day. The story of the 1993 Brink's-Mat robbery serves as a cautionary tale about the allure of easy money and the consequences of crime. It's a reminder that the high life is often just an illusion, and the fall can be very real. So, the next time you hear about a get-rich-quick scheme, remember John Palmer and Michael Hurley. In conclusion, the 1993 Brink's-Mat robbery at London's Heathrow Airport is a story of greed, cunning, and ultimately, justice. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories like this one, and stay informed with the latest news and tips on money and finance.